Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Season 19, Episode 11, The 11th Hour.
How aptly named is this episode? The 11th episode at the 11th hour? It's like it's Destiny or something.
Except it's definitely not Destiny.
It's not?
Not in Robyn's eyes.
It's not ideal, I don't think.
This isn't what we signed up for.
This isn't the America I grew up learning about in school.
There are so many classic Robyn Brown sayings, and yet she is not the wife who has started a t-shirt line.
Surprisingly, no. That would be homegrown teas over at Tata Farms.
Yeah, they've really moved on from one dream to another.
They sprout up right where you plant them, a lot quicker than the flowers do.
I think that that's a lot of it. They realized it takes a really, really long time for plants to grow. So we got to monetize something else.
But honestly, here's the free piece of advice. You guys have to film all of this stuff. Every single preparation thing that they're doing for Tata Farms, they need to be posting that on social media, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that. You need to at least make content of all the stuff that you're doing in the meantime. So then that way we can be excited about it when we see it in 2 to 3 years. Everything they do in their lives is on a 2 to 3 year delay.
I was going to say they are filming it probably for TLC.
I'm saying not even for TLC. Like you need to get out there. Yeah, you need to be out there with your phone, on the YouTube, on the TikTok.
Let's just give up on the whole spoiler aspect of the show. I will say though, they kept that land a secret because this is April 2023 that she's telling Christine about finding land in North Carolina.
To be fair,
we didn't know about that until more recently.
To be fair, they announced it before this season. So if they were trying to keep it a secret, they kind of let that.
Farms?
Yeah, they let that cat out of the bag.
No, I mean that the land, nobody cracked the case on it, that they had purchased this land or were looking at this land as early as they did. I know that eventually they found out, and then people thought that she bought a house, but it wasn't a house. Then we found out it was a farm, and then it was Tata Farms, but... And here we are today. Now it's a t-shirt brand.
And now it's T-shirt Farm. Yeah.
So Janelle says you can get many of the not very memorable things that Janelle has said over the course of the last few seasons on this show.
Well, you can't get them right now because they're pretty much sold out in every color and every size, too. So they're on back order. Well, if they're printing these...
Stop doing that. Why are you not drop shipping your t-shirts?
You need to print on demand. We need to teach everyone what's going on with this element here. This is
so we have to fix their business. Remember when t-shirts were going to cheapen the brand for My Sister Wives Closet?
I do remember that. That was Kody's opinion, though.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Yeah.
The man who does not know much about business.
There is no brand now to cheapen.
Also, Meri loves the saying t-shirt. How did she not have this idea?
She doesn't like to come up with them, though. She just likes to buy things that resonate with her.
Is that a conflict of interest? Can she sell LuLaRoe graphic tees and have her own graphic tee line?
See, so that's a shortcoming, a short-sightedness on LuLaRoe's side. They needed to be coming to Meri and saying, hey, we want to make graphic tees with some of your sayings on them. Just sign over the rights to some of that stuff, and then they'll be cashing in on that for a while.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
You don't think so? Do you know what Bible verse the 11th hour is from?
No, I do not. Enlighten me.
Yeah, it's from Matthew 26:7.
Janelle did visit Matthew this episode.
Matthew and Meri. Somebody. I don't know. I haven't talked.
Don't really remember her name.
I haven't talked in a while. No, it's part of a parable that's all about gaslighting in some ways.
Really?
Or at least that's my interpretation of it now, outside of religion.
Okay, I think that's a loose interpretation, most likely.
Well, the verse is kind of out of context because it's just like part of a parable, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense on its own.
That always helps when you're trying to accurately describe the meaning of something, is to take it completely out of context.
It's great, yeah, but it's a pretty short story. So tell me what your read is on this, because basically the parable is that there's a guy who's going out to hire people to work in his vineyard, to work his land, and he hires people at the beginning of the day, and they go out and they start working in the fields. And then he goes back and he finds more people throughout the day. So first thing in the morning and then at the 3rd hour, at the 9th hour, at the 11th hour throughout the day.
That's a long day.
He's hiring different people throughout the day. Then when it comes time to pay the workers at the end of the day, he starts with the people that he hired at the latest time, at the 11th hour. And he pays them, I don't know, 50 schmeckles or however many, I don't know what the currency is. So, DeLoreans, I don't know what it was. So he pays them that, 1 shilling, whatever it is. And so the people who were working the whole day are excited because they're like, well, wow, these people only worked for 1 hour and they got paid a whole 50 schmeckles. So boy, our rate's going to be really good. And it turns out he just pays all of the workers the same amount. So no matter how much they worked for that day, he just pays them the same amount. So then the people who were out there all day get upset that they weren't paid adequately for the work that they put in for the day, because people who only worked an hour got paid the same amount as somebody who was out there the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
And basically his response is, well, it's my decision, it's my money, and I pay the people what I feel is deserving of what they're doing. So I chose to pay everyone the same rate. I'm being charitable with those people that I only hired for an hour to pay them the same rate. So he's kind of throwing it back on them for being upset that they're being underpaid.
Well, you know what they say. Make sure you get the money before you take your top off.
If they ask you to take your top off, make sure you get the money first.
There was. I knew I butchered it.
No,
this kind of sounds like a performance review in corporate America.
Yeah, this feels like gaslighting. This feels like entitlement. This feels like exploitation. But then also, weirdly, it's about equal pay, which I can get behind equal pay. But I mean, I think we need to be fair.
Hope so.
Well, I know, but like we need to be fair about who's equal. What is it equal to? Because if you're saying I'm hiring people for 1 hour of work and then I'm paying people who worked the whole day the same amount.
You're getting very in the weeds on this.
Yeah, I think I'm focusing on it a little too much.
He paid them a flat rate. It was a shitty thing to do.
I think this is a lesson to the people who are going to work on that. Don't work for that guy until the 11th hour. That's the lesson here. You know he's going to pay you full rate.
Or don't work as hard. That's a lesson a lot of us have learned.
Well, as for the people who are working all day, yeah. I don't think that's the lesson, though. That's not the lesson that they want you to learn. But those are the lessons that I'm taking away, too, is, yeah, maybe we should talk to some of the other workers, figure out what's going on here.
You think we should unionize?
I think we should. I think it's time. It's about time.
How do you think this relates back to the episode?
I guess it's Meri exploited Kody and Nate's workforce by helping her move.
It didn't look like Kody was doing a whole lot of help. He wasn't moving too much.
I don't know how many schmeckles he got paid.
He wanted to get his schmeckle wet at the end. That's the payment he was accepting.
Oh, boy.
This is such a good episode.
It's a really good one.
Inject it directly into my veins. I need more. I would watch 8 more of this episode. I want to see everything on the cutting room floor.
Maybe not the Christine and David stuff. It's because the Christine and David stuff, it doesn't have stakes.
Yeah.
There's no risk. There's no wondering what's going to happen, what the turnout's going to be. It's moving at light speed. We know that. And so all I do is just get triggered by all of the scenes.
There's so much more will they or won't they in the Meri and Kody scenes.
Yes, there is. Because I am convinced that they're going to bang it out at some point. It's a very Jim and Pam seasons 1 and 2 of The Office going on over there now.
Oh, there was that kind of tension. You felt it.
I felt that. I was feeling that. But the TLC description for this one, it's not as good.
I would say it was giving more Dwight and Angela than Pam and Jim.
Okay. Yeah, but that wasn't a will they, won't they. That was, they're doing it. There they go. It's happening. So maybe it is more like that. All right. But the TLC description for this one is Kody sobs after helping Meri move away from Flagstaff, leaving Meri confused about why he has pushed her away for so many years. David and Christine gather their kids to announce their engagement, and Janelle meets David. Bound to happen, right? It was only a matter of time. Glad she could catch him before they ran down the aisle.
We didn't even get to see that much of it. Just the reveal of the titty tats.
Just Janelle getting repeatedly flashed in a kitchen in Utah against her will.
All right, are you ready for what I've got here?
Yeah, let's hear it.
David finally meets his future wife's sister wife. Karma has her way with Kody on moving day. Robyn makes one last attempt to manipulate Meri. Jenn and Nathan fade into the wallpaper at Lizzie's Heritage Inn.
They try to. I don't know if it was working, though.
It was the Simpsons meme.
Yeah, they were really...
retracting into the bushes.
Oh, man.
How did you not look? I would have to look.
I don't think I could.
I would look directly into it.
No, I would have had to leave. I probably would have had to leave. Remove myself from that scenario. I'll be like, I'll just watch it on TV once they post it.
2 years from now.
Yeah, from the safety and comfort of my own couch.
All right, let's start with David and Christine.
Yeah, we're at Christine and David's new house that they just moved into for, I guess, a homemade pizza party is kind of what's going on here. It's a build your own pizza sort of. I don't know what's really going on here because there's a lot of crimes against pizza that are being committed.
The concept that you just stated sounds like a lot of fun.
That sounds good.
But the ingredients that are always out on the counter when Christine is cooking, very scary.
Questionable at best. We have red sauce, Alfredo sauce, which that on its own...
Has anyone had Alfredo sauce on a pizza?
Alfredo sauce? So like a white sauce, yes. You can do a white sauce, but is it Alfredo specifically? Alfredo's very...
I've heard of a white pizza.
Yeah, like
there's no sauce. It's ricotta.
Cheese. Yeah, it's just cheese.
Again, the best of cheeses.
Right, not cottage cheese replacement. We are not about that life on this pod.
Do you think she's just used to Kody putting so many fucked up things together like he did with the crepes that it's just completely changed the palate of everyone in the family?
It's sweet. It's savory. It's umami. It's got it all. A little bit of everything. Some sardines in there too, probably.
I think David mentioned there were marshmallows.
There were marshmallows, and I think Truly was putting marshmallows on her pizza.
Was it a dessert pizza?
I don't know.
Because I'm not going to hate on a little Nutella on the pizza and some marshmallows.
Okay.
But was there pizza sauce?
Well, there was whipped cream, so I don't know if that was from...
Oh, I clocked the can of whipped cream.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was from Christine and David's personal stash.
Hold on, I got to go back to the bedroom. We don't keep it in the fridge.
It's got to be... It's ready whip for a reason. Yeah, you got to be ready.
A light dinner. Because some of the kids may be feeling a little sick once they get to the announcement.
It's dinner and a show is what we're getting.
That's
we didn't
true.
know that.
I got nervous when she tried to AirPlay to the TV.
Yeah, because you don't know what video clips are going to pop up.
Know what's on her phone.
That might be, the precursor video reels of the Christine and David OnlyFans account that is bound to fire up at some point.
Someone called it Woolly Fans. And I can only assume that was coined by Ace. And if it wasn't, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Because, referring to Dino Dave as the Woolly Mammoth, that is right in line with that. So, signing up for Woolly Fans, you're going to have to get your account ready. There's only 2 members right now.
Get your credit cards ready.
It's Christine and David.
The whole point of the night is they're going to announce to the kids that they've gotten engaged because nobody sees that coming.
Even though they basically are, they're living together. So spoiler alert, it was only a matter of time.
Well, she literally told them when she was talking to them, basically, 3 days after she met him, that she's going to marry him. So just get used to it.
Yeah, get ready for that.
Sit in that, soak in that for a while.
Yeah.
But she had to tell Isabel ahead of time because, as we saw, she's not really doing well with adjusting to what the future is going to look like between David and Christine.
She may have had an emotional breakdown if they had sprung it on her in the living room there, mid-bite on a pizza with the sawdust powder Parmesan coating it. I think that would probably...
Such a disappointing evening
all
around.
That'll break your spirits in a couple different ways there.
They had to have the pizza in Truly's mouth so that she couldn't bite David when she heard the news.
Just have her bite down on anything else. Just please stop biting David.
Has Christine been hiding the ring? She was there. Truly was on the trip.
It was, Truly
she was
knows
somewhere.
about it.
Truly didn't tell everybody. Get in the Brown family rumor mill, Truly.
So I guess that's proof, evidence, and facts that Truly is not a part of the Brown family rumor mill.
I feel like everyone in the room already knew.
Yeah, and I mean...
For multiple reasons, just because she prepped them for it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think that they were able to keep that a secret.
No, and I'm sure she's probably already posted it on social media at this point, because then even Peyton's reaction, he was really hamming it up And so it seemed like this was something that was already public knowledge. And so they were just recreating a moment.
We've seen that done before.
Yeah, not like a pencil sketch drawing of the reveal of the engagement.
At least it was a moment that actually happened.
Yeah, this was something that happened in reality in this timeline. So that's good. Reassuring to see.
I love the way that she presented the information to Isabel, which was, don't worry, because nothing worse can happen at this point.
Yeah, if you're worried about this going too fast, there's nowhere else that this can go. It's already light speed, and now we're at the end. And I think what Christine's missing is that Isabel's concern is that there are other things that come after marriage that could be a problem for her to deal with. Meaning, no, I don't think we're worried about an unexpected pregnancy or anything like that. I think we're worried about divorce or separation or the end of this relationship, which she just witnessed.
I mean, wasn't that literally what her fear seems to be?
That's what it seems to be. And I don't know.
Just don't think about upsetting things.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Which that was Christine's advice to Gwen on her depression, was just be happy.
Smile. Be happy. Get outside in the sunshine. You'll be okay.
Get some fresh air.
I don't think things are going to get better because she now has to endure 7 months, 7 long months of Christine planning this wedding.
Yeah, because it was kind of like that, oh, there's nothing else to worry about happening next, but there is going to be a lot of wedding planning that happens in the next 7 months.
There's nothing worse than having to participate in a wedding that you're not excited about, because it's a big commitment to be in a wedding.
And she has no choice in any of this. This is just something that you're getting thrown into, and she was really trying to avoid it.
So now that the kids know, and we've already committed to forever together, it's time for Janelle to meet David. So she's traveling all the way to Utah from North Carolina, and she looked like she had done that.
She looked like she drove. Even though she said that she flew, she looked like she drove the whole way. She looked like she walked most of the way, if we're being honest.
I love her car. It is the craziest shade of blue.
So this can't be her car. If she flew here...
Why, you think she doesn't have oh, yeah, they're in Utah. Didn't she have that car when she went to meet Meri? So she was in Flagstaff with that car, too.
So is this a rental car? Because doesn't she still... Well, was she still living in Flagstaff, technically, at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that she owns this vehicle because it is the color that you would tell the car salesman, I want...
Salesperson.
I want the cheapest car on the lot. Give me the one that nobody else wants.
Yeah, there's no tinted windows. It's a strange, not usual color.
It has like the light beige on the inside too. Something that's going to get dirty as fuck.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is what Janelle wants. It's easy on the bank account.
Not so much on the eyes.
Not so much on the eyes at all.
So what do we do when the wives get together? We are going to make a lasagna. Did you see the cheese? I didn't get a chance to look to see what kind of cheese they were using.
No, I was too scared. But yeah, this was just ending up being the weirdest episode of Cooking with Just Christine. I think one of the weirdest ones. I thought, did Janelle pack her Strive with Janelle apron for a minute? I thought she was trying to relaunch her brand here for just a second.
What was she worried about getting dirty?
She doesn't want to trek it out to her seats.
You know what it is? She flew here Spirit. She only could bring a personal item, not even a bag. And these are the only clothes she has until she gets back to Flagstaff.
That or the apron was her personal item, and that was what she sat on the whole way here, because the seats are basically just a metal rod. Otherwise, you have to prepare yourself for that.
No wonder she looks exhausted.
Yeah, I would look. I have felt that way before after a flight.
Well, she has really big news to share with Christine. She was looking for land. They looked in Montana. That land kind of sucked. It turns out there's a lot of land in a lot of places. Some of it is cheaper than in other areas. And luckily, in North Carolina, where Maddie lives, there is a farm that is within Janelle's price range. Sold.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. So it's just good that she's not in Montana, and it's good that she's not on Coyote Pass. Anywhere but there. I think you can't really go wrong.
Well, speaking of, that seems like kind of a stressful situation to Christine.
Yeah, that the balloon payment, the horrible deal that they signed, that contract that is looming where if they don't pay off the entirety of the land, then they'll lose everything, even the stuff that they've paid off already.
Seems like it kind of sucks. I'm glad that I got out of it when I did.
Christine is acting like a real estate mogul at this point, but I don't think she read that contract either. And she just lucked out by having Kody buy her out of her piece of the land. Well, not even buy her out. It was just that
Didn't she sell it to him for $1 and she just kept the house money?
She kept her house, the money from her Flagstaff home selling.
Well, she knew better. She knew he was never going to hand over a bunch of cash. So she had to sell the house. She was playing the long game, man.
She knew what was going on. Yeah. But to say that this was something that she was able to crisis averted on the balloon payment, very stressful situation. Luckily, she was able to avoid that entirely.
But Janelle's still dealing with it. And then so is Meri, because Meri is still part of the property. So Janelle went to go visit her and Matt, Meri, whoever.
Matt Berry.
She's very tired from having traveled for such a distance.
This is just the way people talk in Tucson, Arizona.
It's kind of a weird conversation.
Didn't really go well either. I mean, she wasn't very receptive to the message that was happening here.
Christine's like, really? That doesn't sound like our Meri.
Yeah. Is that what your experience was with Meri? I've always found her to be so easy to communicate with and very receptive to negative information.
So willing to help when I have a problem.
Contributing, finding solutions to things.
She really doesn't throw her under the bus as much as she could, because that was a really shitty conversation.
It was, and I think it's because Janelle didn't have that conversation with Meri's best interest at heart. That was a conversation so that would leave Janelle's conscience. She has informed Meri, and that was her lawful duty to do that. So she's done that. Check it off the list. It's your problem now, Meri. I gave you the heads up. If you're going to close your eyes and stick your head in the sand, have at it.
She's not going to feel bad when she serves her with papers.
I don't care. Yeah, you might be included as part of the lawsuit now, so just prepare for that.
I mean, she couldn't she? If you're trying to get out of a contract and you have partners who have gone into purchasing this land with you, Meri is one of them.
Yeah, her name's on the plots. So, yeah, you're going to be involved in that one way or another.
She should have asked Meri for the money. Why didn't she do that? Kody can pay you back.
Because Kody's going to ask Meri for the money. Get in line, Janelle.
Beat her to it. She knew there was a better chance that Meri would actually fork it over if Kody asked for it. So she's going to take a backseat on this one.
Yeah, she's going to see how the energy is after the move, I think. Kind of gauge it, clock it, see where the temperament is.
Well, she really can't ask, because last time Meri asked her for money, she totally shut it down.
Oh, yeah.
The B&B.
That's really bad, because Janelle was the major component who was tightening the
loudest voice.
The purse strings? Is that what we're going to say?
But was she?
Was she, though? Because that brings up a whole other family finances question, a whodunit of sorts.
Janelle in Christine's library.
In the library.
With a bottle of wine. Meri was under the impression that this whole time, and you know what, it's not just Meri, it's the whole fandom of this show, was under the impression that Janelle was controlling the family finances.
Why did Christine seem surprised by that assessment too? Because Christine is in the know that Janelle does not have control over the finances. So are they the only two people in the family who knew that Janelle didn't have control over the finances?
Well, Christine said that anytime she needed money, Kody had to write her the check. Meri and Robyn cannot connect the dots on something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to piece that together.
And I think it's been a long time since Cody's written a check to Meri.
Cody has to sign. Yeah. She doesn't even recognize his signature anymore. She wouldn't even know where that came from. Because it's Kody admitted he just guides the funds. He just directs it around. He's directing traffic. He has no control over it.
I've got a plick question. Whose address do you put at the top of your checks?
It's just the vacant lots at Coyote Pass. That's where the checks get mailed. That's where they go.
I mean, we all know it's Robyn's house and that they're angel checks.
Yeah, and that's where all of the default and final notice letters, that's where everything gets sent, just to the vacant lots on Coyote Pass.
This makes a lot more sense because one of the things that articles are always written about is that they're late paying taxes on their land. I mean, now we know Janelle's not the one writing the checks.
Yeah, she's just chugging bottles of wine and then sending out the minuses to their accountant at tax time. That's her responsibility. That's her role in this family finance system.
She was given the shittiest job. She's a glorified bookkeeper.
I am not accountant.
To pull together 4 different families' finances and send them over to the accountant.
That is just its own form of purgatory.
Yeah, who likes doing that? I don't even like doing our taxes. Just organizing the paperwork.
To send to someone to do the taxes.
Can you imagine? Then you have to ask Robyn where her W-2 is.
Well, good news. She's never had one, ever. So you saved yourself a couple of steps. You can just skip on that section.
I have a feeling she's still gathering all of the IRS paperwork.
From 2015. This is where Janelle's calling out one of Kody's major flaws as a husband, where he just seems to pinpoint a weakness of each wife and then just lay in on them. So like Christine was self-conscious about her physical appearance. So that's what he goes at her with, is that she's unattractive and has never been attractive to him. And then I guess now he's pinning all of their financial woes on Janelle because Janelle was supposed to be good with money and he set her up in an impossible scenario and tied her hands behind her back.
He spent all the money.
He spends it all and makes her track how much is going out.
That's a form of torture.
It is. This is financial abuse. What was Meri's, though? Because she didn't mention Meri's. So I think we were talking through this a little bit while we were watching the episode. I think it was probably just her relationship issues, just how unlikable she is.
No.
I mean, like that's
the inability to communicate.
Well, yeah, or just being unlovable.
Unlovable.
I think that was where we narrowed it down. That's what he always hung over her head. Because it wasn't the fidelis anymore and the fidelity, the breaking of the trust.
It was bigger than that.
It was deeper than that. Bigger and deeper? Probably not, though.
Christine is just relieved to hear that Meri is finally moving out of Flagstaff and to the B&B where they always envisioned she would live into her final years.
It was only a matter of time. Yeah, this was always the plan all along. Everyone knew this was Meri's getaway escape route. From the moment she brought up buying this B&B, this was where the story was going.
It's not really an escape route, though, when they kind of like put you out to pasture there.
I don't blame Meri for any of that at all. I really don't. I mean, she made the right play. She bought that B&B to get the house back into her family, and so she has that now. And it just so happens that it works out as kind of a golden parachute on this entire relationship.
Except for the fact that she has to live in Parowan.
Well, and here's the part. Well, yeah, that's the real tragedy here in Meri's story. I would say that at least the point that I respect about Meri is that she bought the B&B. It was her money. The family did not help her. The family funds did not come to her aid to purchase and acquire this building. So this is all her. So, I mean, she's earned it at this point.
She didn't get any alimony. She didn't get a severance check. She had to buy this place herself.
Just Kody helping her move. That's her severance package. Disappointment.
This conversation was just bomb after bomb after bomb, because then Christine pulls her hand out of her pocket because she's got kind of a surprise.
Well, she's also pulling her.
She did pull her titty out of her shirt.
She's pulling some stuff out. Yeah, a couple things out. A couple of body parts are flying around.
She shows her the new beginnings.
The titty tat.
That is a way to open this conversation, isn't it? It's about to be a new beginning.
A new start.
Because we're engaged.
Well, me and David.
I don't know why that got like very 16 and pregnant.
And it has to happen fast because
I'm pregnant. Every time that I have to break news that I don't really enjoy, that's the way it goes.
That's the rhythm and the cadence that it comes to.
The millennial pause. I'm pregnant.
Because I'm pregnant.
Nothing worse can happen, Mom.
Well, that's
what Janelle.
That was Christine's advice to Isabel too. Yeah. Not great.
Oh, I meant Janelle Evans.
I know, I understand, and I'm just saying, like that. Sadly, is legitimately Christine's motherly advice to Isabel about this relationship.
I'm already pregnant. I can't get pregnant again.
There's nothing worse that could happen at this point. It's over. You're worried about me marrying him. It's happening.
David finally shows up. Where was he?
At work, probably? He was hanging drywall.
I was scheduled to work. I'm sorry.
As it turns out, I accidentally drove to my old house. I forgot we moved here.
He's at that age, you know.
He just keeps
Just
driving.
go on autopilot.
Keeps driving to the wrong house. It happens to the best of us.
As soon as he walks in, Janelle goes, "Yep, that's Christine's type."
The bald and the beautiful?
Kody was part of the way there.
You're
there
saying
were
he was...
parts of his scalp that were bald.
I was going to say, you were saying he was bald, not beautiful, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good. I agree.
Yes, the biggest revelation has been that Kody was wearing extensions at some point.
When he had a bad haircut in Vegas, and I'm pretty sure that's when he stopped going to Meri's stylist.
Was it before or after the Keith Urban look? Was it during the Keith Urban look?
Maybe it was. No, I don't think that was extensions. Maybe it was.
I mean,
and I'm second guessing.
I'm a curly girl, and it's hard to keep your hair that straight when you've got a curl pattern.
I almost feel like the only reasonable answer at that point is that that was just a wig. That wasn't even hair. That was not human.
We finally do get to see David's matching tat. We were wondering where it was.
I mean, it's on the titty too.
Of course.
Yeah,
the
titty
same
tat.
side and everything.
Have to match,
right?
have to match.
When they're laying on top of each other, they're lined up.
No, that would be the opposite then.
Where were they?
No, you're saying if they're laying on top of each other.
I don't want to imagine it. Now I have to imagine their bodies turning towards each other. I don't want to.
Yeah, if you're going face to face. So if they were laying, well, depends on how they're laying. Then it might be an alignment. If we're talking reverse cowgirl.
I feel like we're going to end up talking about a lot of positions in this episode.
It lines up.
We're only just getting started.
Oh, no.
I mean, the really freaky shits happen over at Meri's house.
Oh, yeah. Over at Meri's house. She's moving out of Flagstaff.
Thank God,
And
finally.
this is kind of a very succinct way of celebrating the 33rd anniversary of Meri and Kody's nuptials?
Marriage?
Yeah,
In quotes.
Marriage. They were together.
Marriage relationship. Isn't that how Kody has put it before?
A paperwork shuffle that took place 33 years ago.
It is a nice bookend.
Well, it sure beats the hell out of the murder tarp anniversary. No Rice Krispies that'll save you from that.
They have had worse.
That's the saddest part. At least they were having fun on this one.
Meri had to be a little sassy, though. She's wearing her Karma shirt. What did it say? Karma said, "I see that."
It was a quote that said, "I saw that," and it was attributed to Karma, which may have been attributed to Wayne Gretzky, which was also attributed to Steve Carell, Michael Scott.
Okay. Or JoJo Siwa.
You miss 100%
Karma's a bitch.
of the shots. Oh, yeah. She did make that TikTok. She knows the jokes. She knows the reference.
She must have known that was coming. She knew she wore this shirt.
Well, it's moving appropriate. You have to wear something that you can still move around, and there's a lot of work to do today.
What about something that's moisture wicking?
Maybe, yeah. Is it like a workout material?
Some things are getting a little wet today.
Oh, my goodness.
A little moist.
Oh, no.
The first thing they have to do is disassemble her bed. Remember when Kody wouldn't show up to put this bed together, so she was sleeping on the floor?
Nobody would. She slept in Flagstaff on the floor for months because no one would help her assemble a bed. And she can't do it by herself.
Kody is, I mean, now we know why she couldn't. This thing is heavy as fuck.
It looks Amish built.
It's dense.
Yeah.
Every piece of it is dense.
Oh, yeah.
And Kody is suddenly very nostalgic about the items that they purchased together because he was upset about the furniture she got rid of downstairs. Now he's wondering, are you keeping the bed set?
Well, I think he's looking at it because he's like, wow, this is like brand new condition. It's very lightly used. He's ready to put it on Marketplace, make a profit maybe off of this, but
Gonna glue some marble to it so that it could fit in at Robyn's house.
Yeah, paint it purple. And we're going to refinish it.
It's kind of nice.
It's really good. Good quality. At least this is the bed that Meri has had since their house in Vegas, I think was what she had said. So at least it's not as old as Christine's, because Christine was talking about weren't like all of her children birthed on her bed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's not that old.
No, and Meri was making it weird about how she can't keep this bed because then she'll have a visitor stay the night and she'll have to be like, this was my bed from my last marriage. But when was the last time Kody slept in this bed?
8 years ago, at least.
It's lightly used, hun.
That's what I'm saying. this is in like new condition.
And as I imagine happened the last time they were using this bed together, he's making Meri do all the work.
Yeah, because Meri is hard at work. On the one side, she is taking screws out, she's removing pieces, parts, and she's getting this thing ready to go. And then cameras pan over to Kody's side of the bed, and he's just kind of lightly tapping the screwdriver onto the screw, around the screw.
He's flicking the screw, if you will.
He's directing traffic again. He's just sort of guiding where the screwdriver is going to go.
He's so fucking useless.
It's just one of those things where it's like, did anybody else notice that? Did the cameras caught it. It was on the show.
Oh, there's no way that Meri didn't say something to him.
I'm sure that Meri knew that this was pretty much going to be a solo job, and she should have just done this before they got there.
She's disassembled like 3/4 of the bed, and he's still working on the same screw. This whole conversation's a euphemism.
But that's not the only precious cargo they got to load up today.
No. First of all, who knew? Meri, how do we take a Peloton ride with you?
Yeah, what is Meri's account name? What would that be? Not Meri Brow. Probably not. That's too obvious.
Meri Go Round 69.
Oh, that's 69. Yeah, I feel like hers would be one of the dirty names that gets slipped into the leaderboards that she gets the coach to accidentally read as part of the Peloton.
No, I can tell you exactly what's happened to that bike. She used it for a week when she got it, and it's been collecting dust since then.
It's just a LuLaRoe hanger now.
Exactly.
Yeah, a rack for her sails.
Well, Nathan is pushing this bike up the ramp, and Meri grabs the other end. She's trying to help.
Okay, yeah. So he is hoisting this along. Meri is assisting, and then Kody gets squished on the truck, and Nate keeps pushing from his side.
He's backed Meri directly into Kody's dick, dead center, and he keeps pushing the bike further in.
And it's happening, and Cody's getting alarmed now because
they're both feeling something in their loins.
It moved. So they are closer than they have been in years, and they continue to try to blame Nate.
What is this position? Bent over the Peloton bike.
Well, it's just like a from behind sort of situation.
I feel like it needs a special name. Tour de France. Someone's going to be like, that's already a thing.
Well, yeah, because it's, well, careful, because now you're getting dangerously close to an Eiffel Tower situation. We don't need Meri to get spit roasted on the back of the truck here.
This is awkward.
It all starts out, okay, no, at first, I think Kody was scared. He got scared. There was an alarm. There was concern in his voice when he said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, he saw it coming. She was backing in.
She backed it in. She did.
It was looking very familiar.
There was no stopping it. It was just a force of nature. It's bound to happen, just like Christine and David's marriage. And so he saw that coming. At first, it was scary. At first, it was alarming. And then it got funny. So then they're laughing about this. It becomes humorous. But then in the aside interviews afterwards, when they're talking about it, it flips and it gets suddenly very serious, way too serious, because God forbid we have a lighthearted, heartfelt, comical moment on this show.
We don't have fun anymore. And
I'll be damned.
We never went weird.
No. Sex is sacred. That is a special act between Kody and Robyn only. It's not to be joked about.
Why is he acting like Robyn would be upset about this?
Because I feel like if Robyn sees this clip, because Robyn's not here today yet, thankfully. But when she sees this, when it airs, because Robyn watches every single second of this show, she's not going to be happy with these results.
Yeah, but for years, she's been acting like this is her greatest wish come true, for Kody and Meri to reunite.
But those are the Robyn words. The words that she says is that she wants Kody and Meri to reunite, and she wants their relationship to be awesome and fantastic and wonderful again. The reality is she does not want that. All of her actions say the complete opposite.
Well, so then her nightmare is coming true today.
That is what's happening.
Because they are having so much fun together. There's so much giggling. It's getting a little sexual.
They are rekindling something. Something is happening. Something is awakening.
And then in rolls Robyn.
And it was just like the Imperial March cues up, the Darth Vader soundtrack as she rolls up in her big ass Nissan Xterra.
Was the car stalling out? How come it was moving so slowly?
It was, yeah, she's afraid to go any faster than that.
Is that how she's just, how she drove there? I know we've said before that she drives
2 feet. She's a 2-footer. Absolutely a 2-footer. All the way up the driveway, every single inch of that driveway.
She was afraid she was going to hit a tree. Just the whole thing. The truck is right there.
The truck is huge and it's like it's coming right at her. She's terrified.
So she's got to suck the joy out of the moving truck.
Yeah, there's too much laughter, happiness, lighthearted. Again, we cannot have that. Robyn will not abide by that.
No, she does not seem to be enthused about the fact that Kody has identified his favorite ex-wife at this point.
I don't even know if she knows that yet. So,
no.
Yeah, this is going to be scary for her. It's a lot of information to throw at Robyn.
But were Christine or Janelle really ever in the running?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I mean, Janelle maybe, because he's still going to ask her to do his taxes.
No, she asked for money. That drops you significantly down the list.
Yeah, you're off the list.
She's talking about going to lawyers.
That's a liability, yeah, at that point.
Christine announced her engagement like a week before this.
But Kody doesn't follow her, so he still hasn't heard about it.
He's blocked.
He's blocked. Absolutely.
The way she walks up to the truck.
Okay, Robyn coming up to the truck is scary because she doesn't say a word.
No.
To anyone. She comes up the driveway because she parked like halfway down the driveway. She walks up to the back of the truck. Kody and Meri are distracted because they're having the time of their lives. Nate sees her and kind of waves. She doesn't respond. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't react. She just walks her way up the ramp into the back of the truck, and Meri's trying to engage with her, and she's not responding at all. Every single word that you heard being said was Meri asking questions and answering her own questions. Robyn didn't say anything.
She came here with a plan of what she was going to do because it was so overly dramatic. Nobody acts like this in real life.
She admits that she was going to help Meri move.
No, she wasn't.
Okay, so this is what she says. She says that she was gonna help Meri move, but if she had, she would have just been sabotaging the move and delaying it and gumming up the works so that less and less stuff gets done.
Hold on. Like Kody flicking the screw?
Maybe.
Does he not want her to go?
He doesn't want Meri to leave now? Is that the strategy? Is that the plan?
Robyn was never going to help Meri move.
No, I don't think so.
And Meri knew that.
Yeah, and I mean, she just needed to come up with an excuse that made it sound like her. But that just added to, you're just admitting that you would be meddling then. Because, oh, Meri's doing something that you don't agree with and that you don't like. So you're admitting that you would interfere with that and interject and...
She's not a manipulative person, though.
Disrupt that plan? That's what you're saying? Even though Meri's saying that that's what she wants to do and that's what she's choosing to do to be happy? And you would prevent that from happening? You would go out of your way to do things to prevent that from happening?
She's been doing that for 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least she finally admitted it.
It was just very theatrical. Even the way she walked up and she like hit her mark before she walked over to the truck.
That shot, they had to have marked this out because there are scripted films that do not have things walk into frame. There's no way.
It was the perfect shot where you saw the back of her head and then the moving truck and everyone
her
inside.
Coming right in, and that's bottom left frame, and then they're up in the truck, top right frame, and you could see everything, and those stories converge. That doesn't happen in cinema anymore.
I think we missed the part where she turned around and she was like, "Did you get that?"
Yeah, they had to cut stuff out.
That was the only thing she said.
Yeah, not to anybody on the truck. She was just talking with production. She was focused solely on the scene.
So again, she just keeps saying nothing. And she's just communicating by grabbing Meri's hand and pulling it towards her to follow her.
Like a child.
Like a toddler.
Yeah.
A nonverbal toddler.
She doesn't know how to ask for what she's trying to... She doesn't know what she needs at this point either. But she knows what Meri's feeling and thinking. Because Robyn's assessment of this whole situation is that Meri's state of mind is just... She's suppressing all of this because she doesn't want to feel it.
She's so hurt she can't feel her emotions today because it would just break her heart even further.
She has so many other things to focus on and to do that she has to get done. So she's just distracting herself from all of this. No, I think her assessment is completely wrong because she has no idea who Meri is anymore. You haven't talked to this woman in a very long time.
No, and Meri has had a decade to process the fact that her marriage has come to an end.
Even just the stuff where Robyn was saying like, oh, I wish you happiness and I wish you all this stuff.
Joy and happiness.
Is that a Cher song?
Someone's not going to be mad at you.
You kind of sang it like Cher.
You know I'm tone deaf. Guys, legit, I cannot. It's bad. What was the last thing I sung that was...
I don't need you anymore.
Completely. No one even knew what song it was.
Oh, no. I think that was on our last Seventh Heaven episode when we accidentally sang Canon in D, but we were too high to remember that's what it was.
That's why I don't remember.
Yeah, that was different.
That's on the Patreon, by the way, if you want to check that out.
Yeah, that's good.
Those are my favorite episodes. So Robyn has come here gift in hand, not hat in hand this time.
Yeah, cap in hand.
What is this?
It's a junk journal. And I don't think this is one of those father of the bride moments. I don't think you should have the word pit on a wedding invitation. I don't think you should have the word junk in your goodbye gift to your sister wife.
It was so fuggly. It was kind of like a burn book.
Oh.
You think there are some pages in there dedicated to Janelle and Christine? Robyn just slid those in the back.
Trust her.
Meri will never get to those pages, though, because I guarantee this thing went in the trash as soon as Robyn left.
It didn't make it past the curb.
Also, I tried looking these up. There's no way she found this in the wild. First, I thought she stopped at TJ Maxx, so it's bullshit that she didn't have time to come here and help move. But she ordered this weeks in advance. This had to have come from Etsy. And these are like anywhere from $150 to $200 and up because they're handmade.
So this was something that she probably saw on Pinterest and got the idea for. And this is the only way that Robyn can contribute to family scenarios is to just buy something. I think that's just kind of...
Well, she was doing that anyway.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's her strong suit. And so that's how she contributes is by...
I would say she's not a good gift giver.
Yeah.
Is she a frequent gift giver?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I also definitely expected that it was going to be a Precious Moments doll that she just took out of her personal collection.
It could have been. Oh, no, she's not going to take anything out of the personal collection, though. Those are hers.
No bear statue?
No, not at all. That's right out of the question. See, I think this was just... The reason why Robyn was so sad as she was walking up here was because she bought this gift for Meri, and she tried to use the credit card that Meri would normally pay off, and it was rejected. And so this was the first purchase that Robyn had to make using Kody's credit card.
From their own funds.
From their own funds.
Their own monogamous bank account.
And so that was just really the end of the road moment for Robyn. It really snapped into perspective for her.
It had an angel on the front.
This thing, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a personal thing of like, oh, we had this ticket from this show that we went to together. It's almost like a scrapbook that you would put together for things. And this wasn't that because you just paid somebody to put a bunch of stuff
that
together.
Means nothing to you.
That means nothing to anyone because it doesn't mean anything to Meri either. So you're just trying to, and it's a passive aggressive gift too, because then you're saying, here's your book for all your dreams and plans in the future life that you're going to live without me. It's like undercutting everything that you're doing with the intention of a gift.
I don't know. I think Meri would have liked to check more.
I think, yeah. Pay me out for Coyote Pass sooner rather than later.
It's another fucking thing I'm going to have to pack now.
Again, that thing did not make it past the curb. She dunked it into the trash on the way out.
I guess that Robyn has now completed what she came here to do. She sucked all the fun out of the room. Everyone got dead silent when she showed up.
Very somber.
There's a dark cloud overhead.
It's like what people used to feel when Meri would enter a room.
Bring a lot of baggage with you into a room, Meri.
It's just a heaviness.
Well, and she leaves, thank God, to go cry in her car while she self-films.
And Kody didn't even get a goodbye. So he knows this is pretty serious.
Yeah, she's mad at him too. This is all his fault. Not really.
I don't think we'd go that
in
far.
his opinion.
Yeah, I don't think in his opinion or in Robyn's opinion. I don't think she'd ever put this on Kody.
I don't know, though. Kody may be changing his mind about who's at fault for the end of this relationship because he's having such a good time today. Even though Meri's trying to get under his skin, she just can't resist that. She has the urge to annoy him. And so she points out that there's a big box in the entryway. It's got a mirror in it, and it's got the family mission statement.
Ooh, and I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
I don't know, burn it maybe?
You could send it to us, Meri.
Oh
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it off your hands.
Do you think she still has it?
I'll put it in the studio.
Where did the 3 other family mission statements go?
If you collect all of them, I feel like it like snaps together like a Megazord sort of situation. And then
Should we make our own?
just a family mission statement?
Just like,
The Brown family one.
yes, not our own family mission
No, I don't want to
statement.
come up with one.
I want a fake Brown family mission statement.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that'd be good. I feel
A
like
replica.
that's something you could probably get on Etsy. Did we ever land on what we were calling this thing, though? Because it was commitment, recommitment, ceremony, celebration. Though all of those words are kind of used interchangeably.
The family recommitment celebration.
Family recommitment, but then
That's what they're calling it now.
Yeah, I understand, but like recommitment implies that you are no longer committed. So I feel like commitment ceremony, but then they didn't want to use the word ceremony because that sounded too formal.
Like a wedding.
So then they were calling it a celebration, but then that cheapens the brand. So
Meri was still confused because she's trying to explain it on the couch and she was like, the recommitment commitment.
recommitment. Yeah, she's overcommitting to what to call this thing now.
They're like, anyway, remember that? What a failure that we wrote these and the whole family fell apart.
What a waste of time. That was a whole bunch of Nancy's salary that we're never going to get back.
They did pay a lot of money for therapy to write this mission statement.
Months, because they can't communicate ever. They're never going to go out of their way to talk about this.
Well, is that the insight that we needed here, which was not everyone in the family was actually moving forward in the same direction as one unified family, which is why it was so hard to write a mission statement?
I feel like that's pretty telling. Maybe they'll piece that together eventually.
The difficulty of the process of writing it was probably indicative of something.
That there's going to be a commitment and then a supplementary recommitment that will be required at some point.
He got kind of shitty because he felt like Meri was blaming him.
Yeah, he was wounded by that immediately, and he gets shitty, he grumbles about it, but then he was able to stuff that down. He just kind of paved over those emotions, didn't really address it, didn't say anything to Meri about it.
Well, why can't she burn that when he melted down her wedding ring?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, who burned whom?
Who hurt whom first?
Yeah.
But we're not going to play tit for tat.
No, that's Christine and David's house. Yeah.
This is such a perfect day. Why does it need to end?
Well, yeah, we got to lock things up. We got to hit the road. It's been such a great day, though. Looking back on it all, this is just highlight reel. Kody and Meri rediscovering all these wonderful things about each other and just everything that they forgot pretty much since the day they got married 33 years ago.
They do arrive safely at the B&B.
Well, this was the point where I was like, they're going to fuck, right? Like, I mean, not today.
Jenn offered to show him to Meri's room.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful with that offer based on how the day was going. But, I mean, at some point, there's going to be a fallout between Kody and Robyn, and he's going to go lovingly into the arms of Meri, who will accept him, right? Isn't that going to happen at some point?
Let's manifest it.
It's like a Notebook sort of situation.
I'm living for this.
Maybe it's a junk book situation. Is that what their story is going to be called?
Season 22.
A junk journal.
Season 22. Meri re-gifts Robyn the junk journal.
And it's just full of Polaroids in different sexual positions of her and Kody.
Bent over the bike.
On the Peloton. Titty tat to titty tat.
They're making polygamy humor jokes. Making Jenn and Nathan very uncomfortable. Do not terrorize me. You got to do it. I can't.
Do not terrorize me with your pregnancy. Well, what was that in reference to?
The plig humor?
No, the terrorized pregnancy. Why did you have me say that?
Because I don't know.
Okay. Well, that was from 90 Day Fiance. I don't know what that was.
I haven't know about them terrorizing Nathan and Jenn with their humor.
Oh, okay.
Did someone use that word, or did I just insert
that?
I
think terrorize was used as a word, and then that just fires off.
It's stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, for the 90-day reference for that.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. It had to come to an end sooner or later, 33 years later to be exact.
End of an era. Yeah. Start playing Green Day's Good Riddance. Hope you had the time of your life.
And suddenly, Kody is just overwhelmed with emotion.
He's crying and hugging Meri with Nate and Jenn over in the corner. We've seen so many clips from this where we had no idea there were other people in the room for this.
He's making all kinds of confessions about what it was like being married and the fact that they had a really good thing. Why did we let it go? Starting to have some regrets, Meri.
He was in an anger stage, and now he's in more of a sad stage because he's mourning a loss. He's making everything about him.
Oh, yeah. At one point, he thanks her for being miserable for 7 years so that he could have closure.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry for that. Just the 7 years that you were, tortured and emotionally battered. But I'm glad that we could, mourn this loss now together instead of just being angry. More so me, because it is a very woe is me sort of Kody experience that's happening right now.
This is how I don't understand why Jenn and Nathan, I kind of understand why Nathan looked away because I feel like he's not really in the know about what's been going on between Meri and Kody, but Jenn knows everything. There's no way I would not be staring directly into the camera with the biggest unamused face.
Yeah, it'd be Jim from The Office reactions for me.
Yeah. I hope we get to see next episode that she talks to Meri after he leaves.
Because it keeps going. There was more footage of this, of him crying and being shaken to the core.
He's talking to her about how he wants to walk her down the aisle when she gets married again.
Which that is a fun full circle moment because just a few episodes
Meri doesn't
ago,
like circles.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a bookend. So this is what happens where Kody wasn't sure. He can't tell when Meri's joking, when she's serious, or when she's being passive aggressive. And now Meri hearing Kody ramble on about walking her down the aisle to whoever she finds to date and marry in the future. She can't tell. Is he joking? Is he being passive aggressive? Is he being aggressive?
I think that he is imagining the future and he doesn't realize he's the groom.
I think, yeah, he is imagining.
Not yet.
He wants to walk her down the aisle to him. That's the unspoken part here.
I do think that in Kody's dream, he is multiple people.
Oh, it's just the whole world is Kody. Yeah, everybody he interacts with, it's him. So we're left with him staring off into the distance, teary-eyed, and Meri is nestling her head on his shoulder so he can look directly into the camera. We can just steer her face out of the shot so that way you get a nice full profile of me. Dead center.
And cut.
And scene.
Next episode. As the deadline to pay off Coyote Pass looms, tensions rise over how the family will divide the property. Meri takes an empowering solo trip to England. Christine and Janelle host a graduation party for Savannah. Meri, why didn't you go to the Dick Riviera?
That would have been an experience.
She's got to take a cruise like Christine and David are doing right now. So you float up and down there. You're not going to want to miss the announcements because we were recently in Vegas.
It's not the first time.
And we stopped by a couple places. The first being Lindo, Michoacan.
So we have had the legendary dining experience of Lindo, Michoacan.
Very much enjoyed the margaritas.
I will say chips and salsa, top notch as well. And they had beans as a dipping for that
dip
too.
Was very good.
That was very nice. The atmosphere, though, left something to be desired for me.
I felt like I was in Janelle's house.
It did feel like that. Or Robyn's.
There were a lot of museum-like items hanging off the walls.
Oh, the decor was very Janelle. I was going to say with just random children running about the dining room. That was the part where I felt like maybe I was at Robyn's house.
And of course, we had to swing by the cul-de-sac.
We may or may not have, what do you call that? It's when you You double dipping on somebody who opened the gate there? What is it? It's the tailgating or not tailgating? We followed someone in there. Okay. I'm sure this is terrifying for anybody who lived in there. So apologies if for whatever reason you live in those 8 houses.
It happened to be someone who lives in one of the homes from the show.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't go up the driveway or anything. We weren't going to pull a Leon where we were staring at the front door and wanting to kick it down because we wanted to be in there before Christmas.
I got to tell you, though, it's very small. The cul-de-sac itself is small.
Okay, lessons learned. I had no idea. There's no development there. It's just one street that just goes, it's 4 houses on one side, 4 houses on the other side. That's it.
I don't know how you did not know that.
I don't know. I didn't piece that together. I never looked on Google Maps that hard. I just assumed it was part of a bigger development.
Some of us do more research.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize how close together those houses were.
No.
They are stacked on top of each other.
The idea that they did not know where Kody was at all times is absolutely ridiculous.
That's laughable at this point.
We did not take any pictures in the cul-de-sac. I think that we very much terrified this person.
Oh, they waited to close the garage door. They kept their headlights on facing us until we left the development.
It was a scary scene. We were in a rental car that had no plates because
it
was brand new.
Good luck catching us. But yeah, there was no evidence left behind.
That's a good segue into the bonus episode that's going to be dropping here. And you get the whole thing over on Surviving Reality, but we're going to be recapping the JonBenet Ramsey doc that is dropping on Netflix. I think it'll be out the day that this episode is out. That Monday?
Monday, yes, the 25th.
We are children of the 90s, so we love us some JonBenet Ramsey. Will we see Christine's wedding dress? Maybe.
'Tis the season, yes, for a JonBenet Ramsey doc.
There's a lot of good stuff out on Netflix right now. I feel like we almost never open that app, but there's also Hot Frosty coming out, which is it out or is it coming out?
You have to be careful with how you announce that, I think.
It sounds X-rated, doesn't it?
It's not Christine and David's. That is the discount code that you can enter for their for their Wooly fans.
You're feeling that kink. We're going to be recapping that on the Patreon. I'm very excited for it. I love when we do a holiday movie, and this one looks to be unique.
Steamy? Yeah, what are we gonna, I don't know what adjective to use for that.
Wasn't Martha on Netflix too?
Martha was on Netflix as well.
We just talked about that for our last Let's Talk About It episode.
Yeah, it was a good one. That was fun. Lots of memories. Trips down memory lane.
You guys got to tell us what else is going on in other apps. Should we be watching something on Hulu? We never opened that.
Well, so here's the thing. I just access everything through Disney Plus because Hulu's ads are out of control, but all the content that's on Hulu is available on Disney Plus. So that's my workaround.
When was the last time you opened Disney Plus?
I was watching What We Do in the Shadows.
All right, well, fair. I feel like it's been 6 months since I've opened Hulu.
And that's usually my go-to for Malcolm in the Middle. Yeah. Just saying.
I've been deep in the thralls of watching 1,000 Pound Sisters.
Yeah, usually all up in that Max app.
I am. It's like the first thing I open.
Well, if you're still here and listening at this point, thank you for getting this far. And thank you for being a part of our community that you're helping build. It's the Sister Wives community.
If you like what you're hearing, really appreciate it if you would do us the favor of leaving a review wherever you listen to these podcast episodes.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, subscribe over on YouTube. And you can check out our other podcast, Surviving Reality. We're recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. New episodes every Friday. Or you can get all of our episodes early and ad-free over on our Patreon. Remember, every dollar you pledge makes us just a little bit more successful than my Sister Wife's Closet. And if you're looking for those links, you can find it at beacons.ai/survivingpod.
Or in the show notes. That's easier.
Yeah, you can just go click on it. That's really the better way to do that, I think.
Thanks for listening. See you next week.